We're at IBC 2018 and we're going to take a closer look at ColorSynth from Codex. Red Shark at IBC 2018 is brought to you by Adobe!
Black Magic Design.
So I'm here with Brian, and Brian, tell me, what is ColorSynth?
ColorSynth is a new color correction module that works with third-party NLE applications such as Final Cut Pro X. Today here at IBC 2018, we're launching our new build within Premiere Pro 2018 as well as Adobe After Effects. Also at the show, we're introducing our new color correction control surface that we call Keys that works together with ColorSynth.
Okay, so why is this different from, let's say, Lumetri from Premiere?
So we developed this application in conjunction with a lot of high-end colorists that gave us the feedback of how they work and how quickly they go through building up a grade. So we sat there and we pre-wired a 6-layer stack with 15 sub-layers and about 45 modifiers. If you were to build this up in Lumetri or Resolve or third-party apps, it becomes very challenging to get the same results that we're producing in a simple package with ColorSynth.
So creatively then, diving a bit deeper into this, what does that mean for colorists or people working with color?
So usually a colorist will start with the base grade where they normalize the picture, and then they'll go through and they'll balance those pictures scene to scene. And then from there they'll sit and they'll look at the creative side, how they can maybe relight the scene or enhance it, spending time with shapes and animations. So we have all that flexibility and power, but you can get there quicker and easier with this because we have an input grade all the way to an output grade, with in between some very powerful tools for shadows, midtones, and highlights grading, color EQ. When we look at the application, you'll see some of these powerful tools and how easy it is to manipulate them.
Okay, great. So
let's take a look at the interface. Here we are running it on top of Premiere. We're looking at this, Ellie, if you can sort of step through. Sure. The unit itself is integrated right within the application. A lot of plugins, you actually exit the application, come back into it. This module, ColorSynth, is actually built right inside of the application. You have an input grade, a selections layer, an unselected layer. You have a color EQ module, or shadows, midtones, and highlights, and output grade. So we're going to take this picture here, which if we sort of toggle the look on and off here, this is a red 5K file that's been brought in, created as a ProRes file sitting on our media vault, and we're accessing that from the system. I'm going to have you take a look over at our application UI with Ali. He's going to take you through a little bit more detailed application demo.
So Ali, take me through the interface and what you've got and how you can use this.
Sure, so we've got ColorSynth here running in Adobe Premiere Pro. As you can see, it sits in the side panel as an effect. So this is a graded image. We can toggle the grade on and off. So that's the image that we started with. And then this is the image with the full grade. So I'll take you through the different layers that we've applied and how we've gotten from that original image to the final graded image. So, so we've got an input grade layer. So here you can do things like color temperature correction. You know, if the white balance is off and you need to warm the image up or adjust the tint, then you can do that within here. Also, if you need to correct for exposure, for example, then we've got an exposure adjustment where we can brighten or darken the image, change the saturation and the contrast, that kind of thing. With this image, we're using the selections layer. So basically the image falls down through these different layers in order. So you come through the input grade, then selections, all the way through down to the bottom, which is your output grade layer. So the selections layer itself actually has 6 sub-layers. So you've got a layer for each of these 6 color vectors. So we can target that area of color within the image and then modify it. So in this case, for example, with the reds, you can see if I toggle that on and off, we're making quite a big difference to the color there. We're doing that through the qualifiers. So for the red sublayer, if we look at our qualifiers here, we can switch on what we call the ghost keyer. So the ghost keyer here, we can choose which colors to target. So you can see you can select your input color here. You can change the density, which is how far into the color cube we're reaching to grab those colors. And then once you've set that mask, then you can come into the modifiers, and here you can see we've actually ramped up the blue in there to kind of tint those flowers. So we can come from the original red shade if we bring that back down, or we can push that up to get probably what's a more sort of natural reflection of that type of flower in nature, basically.
So this basically means that you can do very quickly, you can do a color separation color grade right within.
Yeah, you don't need,
ColorSynth.
you can build these masks extremely quickly, fine tune them, and target those colors and modify them really easily. And then in terms of the next layers, we've got the color EQ layer. So this has got some tools for remapping hues, for example. We could take the, if we take that purple color and we can actually, we can push that off into a completely different color in the spectrum quite easily, and really fine tune that. It's similar to other tools you would see, but actually the maths behind our hue remapping is quite unique. It's a special thing within ColorSynth, and the way that it preserves gradients across the color spectrum is really, again, natural, quick to use and easy to use. And then we've got the shadow midtone highlight layer. So again, within here you've actually got 3 sub-layers, one for shadows, one for midtones, and one for highlights. So in this case, if we look at our midtones, we can just toggle that on and off. So we're bringing quite a lot of warmth and richness back into the midtones. And you can actually, within the qualifiers, you can define the different ranges. So, within the shadows, we can actually tweak our shadow range. So we can choose what gets changed by our shadow layer, and similarly what gets changed by our highlights layer. So if we wanted to target the highlights, so for example here, and we wanted to, if we just go to our exposure here, let's say we wanted to push the highlights to red, we can just quickly go in here, just push those across, just bring some warmth back into the highlights like that. And then finally, within the output grade, we've got similar options, but we've also got things that you might want, like a tone curve. If you wanted to bring a bit of contrast back into the image, that's quick and easy to do. That's just a luminance-based tone curve. We've also got, RGB curves. Again, for example, if we wanted to, cool off the image in the shadows and, add some warmth back in at the top end, then you can do that really quickly and easily. So in effect, it's like a node tree, like you could build in a more, something like, but it's really, it's very compact. It's all pre-wired for you, so it's super fast to kind of build your grades.
Great. Well, thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
If you don't want to miss anything from IBC 2018, then make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Come on, hit that button.